Hey, what's up, fam? Thank y'all for tuning in once again. As always, be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And when you do subscribe, hit the notification bell so every time I drop a video, you will be the first to know about it. So I had to do this story. You hear all the time that Black American women have bad attitudes. People can't deal with them. It's too much. And Black American women are the first ones to say, well, you got to deal with me. If you can't deal with me, that means you're not strong, especially when it comes to men. They say you're just not a strong Black man dealing with a strong Black independent woman. And we're like, that has nothing to do with the situation at all. It's when you got an attitude, like, can nobody tell you nothing? Every time somebody says something, your feelings get hurt. You get loud, you get irate, even when you're in the wrong. Y'all remember when the brother that owns the Kitchens and Cocktails in Dallas, when his story went viral, when someone recorded these women, these Black women twerking in his restaurant or establishment, but not only doing that, but standing on chairs and his furniture doing this. And he comes out and tells them, as the story says, multiple times to get off his furniture. And then when he comes out and asserts his manhood, raising his voice a little bit, use a couple of profane words, which I'm sure them women probably use profanity in every freaking sentence that they use. I'm just going to put it out there. And told him to get off his stuff. You ain't bought this. You ain't put on this. You tear it up. You ain't trying to fix it. You don't respect my establishment, which you don't, because if you stand on anybody's furniture, you don't respect it. You don't care. And the first thing they said is, well, you shouldn't play that kind of music anyway. Man, you can play any kind of music you want to. You can play stripper music. You can play blues, jazz, classical music. Don't give nobody the right to disrespect, get on your furniture and put their big butt on your furniture so they can break the glass, slit their leg open and die in your establishment. But it's funny they said that, say you shouldn't play that music if you don't want us to dance like this. But yet, if a woman is, let's just say it, wearing little to nothing, sundress with no underwear, super tight clothes where you can see every crevice of their body, leggings, and they get these BBLs and breast implants and eyelashes and things, and try to look so sexual. Everything you do, you're gyrating your hips, you're gyrating your sexual parts, which is basically what you're doing. And if a dude comes up to you wrong, grabbing on you, groping you and this and the third, because dudes been doing this forever. You talk to women now, they'll say, man, I used to go to the club and all these guys used to be grabbing my butt every time I walk by, and it's like, that and not saying, like I said, but I'm not saying it's right, but you be the first one to say it's not right. But if a dude said, well, hell, if you wasn't wearing that, if you weren't out here dressed like a streetwalker, we wouldn't treat you like a streetwalker. You get upset. But like I say, it's the attitude that no matter if you're doing right or wrong, your attitude is crappy. And then it's, man, I'm going to tell you like that. No, let's get into the story first, because I got stories. This is from MSN.com by way of, this says Face to Face Africa. And it says Atlanta police chief recorded saying she didn't want to hire minority female officers because of their attitude. Now, this is a Black woman talking about Black women. When men say it, you have a problem. Now, and this story is like 5 days old, and I haven't heard a whole lot of uproar about it on social media. Not a whole lot. And it's funny because I also did a story not too long ago about how Beyonce, or how a guy he owns the AMC theater, and how he released to other theater owners, that corporate heads, that he's gonna, well, he got the heads up that Beyonce and Taylor Swift were going to put out movies about their concerts, their concert movies. And so he could be the first one to sell tickets. Nobody else knew about it. Then the other owners, the other CEOs, corporate execs, and other movie theater companies got upset. And so he said, hey, tell you what, be ready to sell some Beyonce tickets too. And so then everybody put it out. I think Beyonce was upset because it leaked and it wasn't supposed to. But yet Beyonce made a fraction of the millions that Taylor Swift made on their movies respectively. And I could beg, and I asked the question, did Black American women fail Beyonce? Because y'all love to talk about Queen Bey, love black women talk about all this money they have. They got more money than black men. You know, they support each other, you know, sister, what they call sister girl power, black, you know what I'm saying, black girl magic and all this kind of stuff. But yet you didn't go, you know, you complained about how high priced Beyonce concert tickets were, which is understandable. But you didn't go see the concert in the movie. But a whole bunch of white folks went to saw Taylor Swift and she made a whole hell of a lot of money. I don't give a doggone if it was leaked or not. You still could have went multiple times, kind of like you did Black Panther. Could have went and saw the behind the scenes, the concert and everything else. But you didn't. You didn't support Beyonce. So I was like, but when I did the video, shoot, I'm gonna tell you for real. I mean, few of my videos, you know what I'm saying, don't get a lot of views, but that didn't get a lot of views. And I was surprised that no one commented on it. And I hadn't heard a lot of it again in social media. Because it could be that y'all know you have no rebuttal, no logical rebuttal as to why you didn't. You're going to hem and haw. Well, here we go now. Got a black woman who said this. And again, I haven't heard a whole lot of black women, but we're going to read this and see if we can go to the comments and see if anybody said anything. Let's go. Beverly Banks, the LA, Virginia, no, the Atlanta, Virginia, VA medical, okay, VA, okay. The Atlanta VA Medical Center police chief serving a suspension for unacceptable behavior was allegedly heard in a recording saying that she didn't want to hire black or Hispanic female officers because they come with a whole lot of attitude. What, a black woman? Per Fox 5 Atlanta Banks, who is black, is said to have made these comments during a command staff meeting on September 13, 2023. And it's amazing this hadn't came out before now, but you know, we in the whole DEI era right now. George Floyd still trying to get the remnants off our backs on that. So you ain't gonna say too much about black women at the time, but now, like to say, everything is coming out, getting rid of those DEI hires. They're gonna put their folk back in positions where they feel that they belong. But it's funny, I got all these police chiefs, for some reason, are black women. All these judges are black women, whatever, you know, and all these mayors, black women in these cities, Democratic ran cities, and all these cities, the politics and the judicial system and the criminal court system are all shot to hell. I'm just saying. Over 12 people attended that meeting, and the audio recording in question the audio recordings in question were obtained by the Fox 5 I team. I am to the point, this is a quote now, I am to the point, I don't want to hire black women no more, Banks, who was suspended last month with pay, is heard telling the attendees in the recording, I am to that point. I ain't got no white women beating down my door to come in and work, but I wish they would, because I don't have these problems. You remember was a movie called, was it Pimps Up, Hoes Down, something like that. But it's been a couple of documentaries dealing with pimps, the pimp industry. And a few of the pimps would say they'd rather have white women than black women working their stable, because white women, you don't hear all that. Black women give you all this attitude, talk back, this, that, and the third. White women understand their role and they roll with it. And the first thing black women say, oh, you can't handle me because I'm strong, black boy, I want to talk all that noise. And it's like, dude, you never bite the hand that feeds you. I don't give a damn. And I don't condone pimping. What I'm saying is, even in that aspect, matter of fact, like I said, I got stories. The police chief continued, I don't have no Hispanic women. Hell, I don't want them neither. Because you know what comes with it? A whole lot of effing attitude. I'm sure she used the F word. And I don't want it. I'm the only one with an attitude in this place. Me. And she the boss. That's how you supposed to. That's how she's supposed to be. How she's supposed to think. Supposed to act. Shoot, can't nobody do nothing but me. I'm the boss. You can't do what I do. You got to add to him and get rid of it. You ain't gonna have, ain't no two of me here. Ain't nobody gonna run this. Basically what she's saying. Nobody else is running this but me. So get it right or get your issue. The recording was confirmed to the Fox 5i team by an individual who attended the meeting. The news outlet also sent the recording to the Veterans Association, A spokesperson responded to the recording in a statement saying that there is no place for racism or discrimination at the VA, and these comments are unacceptable. Let me tell you something. I used to work for the VA. I was a nurse at the VA. And I worked there probably about a year, if that long, and then I left because I'm like, I did not like the politics or the way that some of the ways, the way they did the veterans was terrible. I mean, she talking about racism and discrimination, but again, the way they, like I say, did the veterans was like, what I'm saying, ridiculous. You can't. I feel like everybody should have the opportunity to work somewhere, but it don't make sense. And I understand when people say like discrimination, racism, whatever, but sometimes it didn't make sense to have, when we're talking about the VA, of all places, the VA, to where that you had a lot of foreigners, especially those from like the Arabian, Middle Eastern countries, working there and taking care of a lot of these veterans, because a lot of these veterans fought over there in that area. And the reason why I say this is, it just didn't make sense, because everybody should work everywhere, like I said, but it's just some places, some people don't need to work. Because I would see these veterans and these nurses go back at it. The language barrier is there. The way they talk to each other, the way they talk to the veterans and the soldiers, they may think there's nothing wrong with the way they talk, but it's like they're talking at them. So you're talking about women and you're talking about foreigners that look like the people that tried to kill you just a few years ago on many tours that you've taken. And a lot of these veterans got PTSD and all that kind of stuff. So it's something that for some reason the two don't go hand in hand, right? So I'm like, situation like that, it's almost like, man, if you gotta try to get some people that is more sympathetic to the American soldiers, is what I was saying. But there's a lot of politics. Coming in, getting rid of, when I interviewed, there were like a few Black American women that were working in the department I was at. By the time that long process went through and I got hired, all of them were gone, I think, except one or two. And I'm like, damn, where y'all go? And it's like, shoot, problems, man. Someone quit, got fired. There's lawsuit. Well, there was like legal, there was a lawsuit going on, or legal things going on dealing with, hiring and firing of some Black folks and stuff, and people got sued. The managers had to step down, all this kind of stuff at the VA. So yeah, like I said, I worked at the VA, but like them saying this, and that's one, and that goes to the point of, you can do something and nobody really say anything about it, because you can do it in ways that nobody can really tell. Like they can't really bring it to the forefront and complain and file a lawsuit about it or take legal matters. But if you downright go and say something and do it, then, if it's just blatant, yeah, they're going to get you. But like I said, you just go out and just say what you feel like this in front of certain people, then yeah, it's going to cause ramification. Now, if you just mess around and just don't hire no more Black people, or you just go out there and, you put out flyers on Indeed, or you go to white neighborhoods trying to get white police officers, can't nobody say nothing about that. Ain't nobody even gonna know, nobody even gonna care, because probably ain't too many Black women are gonna want to be police officers anyway. But no, it's a lot of them though. It's a few of them. But yet now you put this out, now every Black woman gonna be pissed, right? But again, I haven't heard a whole lot of Black women say anything, because I think they know that she's on to something. Banks and two senior commanders were suspended in May over certain workplace behaviors the VA described as unacceptable. This included allegations of sexual assault and harassment in the department, Fox 5 Atlanta reported. Banks became the Atlanta. You know what? That's another kind of slippery slope. When you're in positions of power and you try to, let's say, talk to somebody, flirt with somebody, want to go out, think things are going one way and they may not be, that person can sue you quick, fast, in a hurry. And because of your position, they can pretty much win the lawsuit and get money and get compensated for it. That's why a lot of these companies, especially the VA, I know, and hospitals and most companies don't allow on-the-job relationships because they find out they can fire you because they don't want it to turn into something to where there's an accusation and now the company is in trouble. Not just you, but the company because the company didn't do enough to stop it. And so now a relationship, and now y'all done got into it, and then this person, and hey, it's known women will lie. They will lie about what the dude done did to them. And you know what I'm saying? And all hell breaks loose, and they're trying to eliminate that. So they say, hey, we just ain't gonna let nobody date each other there'll be no sexual contact or whatever. Because people are having sex too freely anyway. But it's not gonna be any kind of, we're not gonna have it. We're not even gonna tolerate it. If you look at each other and wink, we're gonna write you up. It said Banks became the Atlanta VA Medical Center police chief towards the end of 2022. Dang, she wasn't there that long. She took over when the department was embroiled with complaints including favoritism and sexism. Like I told you, there's some favoritism. People come in, certain group of people came in. They started pushing certain people out. And I'm just going to say probably black women with attitudes. You gave them a reason to push you out. And they bringing in their own people they can relate to, and people they can get along with, and people they'll work with for the rest of their lives. But black women, even according to this article, can't even work together. Even if they bring their own people in, they can't get along with each other. Which is why I feel, unfortunately, you have to have a mixture of women and men in the workplace to make it work great. Because I heard a lot of people say, man, like where I work at, a lot of people say, man, I don't know how you do it. Work on all in women. But I try to go somewhere just saying where there's, a mixture so we can kind of, the balance is there. Johnny McCullough, the police department's deputy chief, was accused of assault by a woman identified as Shanika Jackson months before Banks took over. And though McCullough denies those allegations, an investigation by the VA cast doubt about his honesty and determined Jackson was accurate and truthful. Dang. McCullough, however, continued to serve as deputy chief while a private security company Jackson was working for fired her. Banks also allowed McCullough to remain at post, though it cannot be established if she was aware of the IA's findings. The same deputy chief in December 2023 got embroiled in another controversy after a different female officer claimed in a complaint that McCullough had threatened to grab her hair and drag her down the hallway. He was pissed. Fox 5 Atlanta reported. It could not establish if any action was taken after the complaint was filed, but the chief addressed McCullough during a department-wide meeting in January. Deputy Chief McCullough, if you don't know how to talk to people, tell me now so I can do whatever I need to get you disciplined. Again, the chief reportedly said. He's probably knocking her down because it sounded like that's kind of been tongue in cheek. The chairman of the House Committee on Veterans Affairs, Representative Mike Bost, a Republican out of Illinois, has since demanded details about the Atlanta VA Medical Center, the police department. Why he worry about a whole nother state? Where's a representative in Atlanta? Oh, they're probably a Democrat, so it's probably why. And they're black. DEI, they ain't gonna look at their own people. Bost had demanded all unredacted internal investigations concerning the suspended senior officer. So it doesn't really go into a lot of detail of what the recording said, but like I said, I work in nursing. Plenty of women. I cannot recall any place that I worked where women did not get along, whether it was, they get along, some of them, but there's always an issue with either co-workers or even patients and women. They, get into it. Can't stand each other. Can't get along. And it's not uncommon. I was a manager at a clinic at one time, and I actually had a nurse that worked under me say that, because there was some stuff going on. I had to handle it. I had to handle it like a man, put them in their place. You either with it or you ain't. If I sit here and listen to you, I ain't gonna talk crazy to you. I'm just gonna be stern with it, give you these papers to sign, and you just move on. You either like it or you don't. Not gonna use emotion to get my way. I'm gonna figure it out. As aggravating as it may be, it was times where I used to hate going to work because I knew as soon as I got in my office, somebody's gonna come knocking on the door. Every time, it never failed. And I had to diffuse the situation. Certain people would knock on my door all the time. It was a situation that I had to diffuse, but I had to go. And the reason why I took a while is because there's a process which a lot of people didn't understand, and which actually caused other people to get terminated, and not the person who probably needed to be either terminated or removed. But like I said, I had a nurse working under me tell me that. She said, I forgot the conversation was about, but I know she said that I'm sorry, but I just don't think women should be in positions of power. I've had more than one nurse tell me, a person say they didn't want to work under a woman, period, because of the attitudes. And, they try to bring the scriptures in, which I'll never go against that. But yeah, they say just the attitudes and all that kind of stuff. It's too much. They just want to come to work. They say rather work under a man. I'm all for that. I believe that's the way it should be anyway. But yeah, like I said, this is interesting. This lady she said out loud what everybody says in silence, that it's just too much attitude. But the sisters get mad when you say that, but it's not. You don't say it to chastise, to judge. You say it so people can have self-correction. And if enough people say it out loud, anybody with any kind of common sense would do what they can to try to change the narrative. I can say even for myself that I have been deemed a non-people person to some people. Now, a lot of people say, they cool with me and we get along and no problems. But sometimes some people say, not so much. I walk around, I don't know, like maybe I'm mad at the world or try to be intimidating, and people just, ain't trying to hit. And that's fine. It is what it is. It ain't here for you to like me, but I even, got books and watch videos and read articles on just how to deal with people that I feel ain't doing right by me, and how to confront them, and how to address these people. Because in order for me to have a more peaceful life, I have to learn how to deal with other folk, because I can't make a person feel a certain way. You can't make grown people. You can do something. You can suggest it. You can ask them and give them an ultimatum, either or in this, but people going to do what they want to do. But the main thing is like dealing with attitudes. And I know how to deal with attitudes, really, because it starts when they're young, especially like junior high, high school, probably even younger than that. Did a video on a girl who was like 9, fussing and cussing at the police. Like, man, where you learn that from? Your mama. But then you would say, you could tell her mama she got an attitude and she'll go off on you, but then her child be doing the same thing. And you'd be like, okay, you can't see this. You don't see nothing wrong with this, but misery loves company, So it ain't really too much you can do about that. But like I said, I have personally, again, tried to do things to change the way I deal with situations or deal with people for certain reasons, how people interact with me, etc. But you got some people who refuse to do that, won't do it because, you ain't gonna tell me what to do, and their feelings are all hurt. And so I'm just gonna spite you and do what I want to do and make it even worse. And then they wonder why. Then when you walk away from them and you don't want to deal with them, they want to say, again, you couldn't deal with a strong, independent woman, so that's why you left. But the problem is everybody left you. If everybody left you, everybody didn't want to work with you, everybody fired you, nobody will hire you. And and the thing about it is, you may not be like that. You may be a good, down-to-earth, stand-up person, But because the majority of people, well, I ain't gonna say the majority, it don't take a lot. But they say it was like, what did it say? One bad apple spoils the bunch. So it don't take a lot of people to mess something up. So what you have to do is learn how to discern yourself from those folks. So nobody puts you in a pile, because that's why she's like, she didn't just come up with this. I just out of thin air. I'm sure she done had to deal with many of sisters and all Hispanics ladies who have attitudes, can't get right, like to talk noise, ain't got nothing to back it up. And she's sick of it. She don't want to deal with attitude. All she want to do is work. She just want the work to be done. If you got a question, come talk to me, fine, but she just want the work to be done. And like I said, I've seen women get accused of something or knowing something that's coming down the pipe because they messed up, and then come back and talk about they're afraid to work because the environment is hostile. And nobody's been hostile to you. It's just that somebody's checking you on how you acting. You ain't changing the behavior, but then when you don't change the behavior, a write-up is about to come. Now you want to say the environment's hostile and you're afraid to work for this person, under this person, because they intimidate you. Man, you missed me with that. But anyway, tell me what you think about this story. Leave your comments below. Let's have a dialogue. I really want to hear what you got to say. With that being said, support, don't forget to support the channel. There's 4 ways you can do it that don't cost you anything but a couple of minutes out your day. So like, share, comment, or subscribe to the channel. Again, like I say, it costs you nothing but a little bit of your time, and I appreciate it. And it helps me. I appreciate that right at this point more than I appreciate y'all supporting it financially, which would be through super thanks and super chats. Or you can go to the description box, click in the link, or click in the description box, and you'll see links to where you can help support the channel. Also, however you support, I thank you from the bottom of my heart. Can't be here, can't do this without you guys. So thank you again for at least watching. And with that being said, I leave you in peace. Straighten them attitudes out, and I'll see you on the other side.